Something I get asked a lot from people is why do certain people in their life make time or effort in certain areas or with certain people, but it feels like they are kind of in the background. Well, what that is it's compartmentalizing. So, in other words, what people do is it's a nice way of saying you're not a priority, but what they do is they compartmentalize certain things and people in their life. So we make time for the things that are important. So again, if your physical health, your relationship with God, your job, your relationship with your family, if those things are important, you're going to make time in however you can to make that work. So like maybe, you figure out I want to make the flow with my relationship with my family work. So I'm going to make time to do like dinners and meet to eat out. Or maybe, obviously your job's important. So like you're earning a living, especially if you're a man and you're a provider. So that right there is going to take up a lot of time. But then what you do is you have to figure out how can I make time for the other things in my life that are important, which would be like maybe your physical health, your relationship with God. So like your relationship with God can be throughout the day, before bed, in the morning. You know what I mean? Like however that works for you, however that flows. If you're in a relationship, that is something that needs to be obviously important if you want it to work. So what you would do is consistency of communication, consistency in getting together. Because at the end of the day, friendships, relationships that are obviously, romantic or marriages, without any relationship, which would be like communication and seeing the person, and putting effort in there, what's the point? Does that make sense? So in other words, it would be effort, okay, of some kind. Like I just said, you need to be communicating, and there needs to be like a consistent flow of communication, and then obviously seeing each other. So like that would be how you would handle that. And then obviously, like if you have like friendships and stuff, like for girls you could have girls nights, guys you could have guys nights, and you would make that work however that works for you, whether it's weekly, whether it's monthly. See, everybody has a different groove and lifestyle, so you can't just compare one person's life to yours. And then obviously people have hobbies. So like if a hobby is important, you would make that a priority too. But again, everything should be fit in, not just the things that you want to fit in. So again, I hope that kind of addresses the common topic that I get brought up. This is something that is, unfortunately, I guess you could say, lack of intelligence on people's parts, because they really don't know how to, I guess, navigate these things and what long term will happen when you neglect certain things. Because again, some people, are just unaware. I hope this helps. God bless.